Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon, where I'll be talking about the movies, merchandising, theme parks, I don't know, whatever the case may be. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, then yes, of course I'll be talking about it. So okay, I'm doing the follow-up video like I promised, part 2, reluctantly. Because just to wrap things up, of course. So yes, obviously, I just want to finish this up already. Like I said in my previous video, I had to do this in separate parts because of the fact that it's quite lengthy, and Kevin Swanson and the other people he had on just keep rambling on and about literally nothing. This is just a made-up problem that they have in their heads. Kevin Swanson just wants people to kiss his ass, and the more people agree with him, the more people would think, "Oh, I'm in the right. Me. I'm speaking the truth." When in reality, it's just a bunch of fallacious bullshit that has nothing to do with anything, like at all. It's just made up nonsense, and he just refused to take accountability for himself. Well, and people like him as well, of course. So, with that being said, let's just get into it. So the first part was basically just a setup to this other segment about how companies have gone woke just for supporting the LGBT plus community, which seems kind of odd, is especially considering the fact that there's been multiple corporations that have already been supporting the LGBT community for years and years. Matter of fact, for decades. So how is it that you just now mention it now? Like now, all of a sudden, you want to bring this up. Like now, you notice this, even though despite the fact I've been doing this for eons and eons prior to this. So how's that you now notice this is beyond me? Somewhere around it isn't being very observant whatsoever. All right, like I said, let's just get this over with. I guess whatever.
And we're back on Generations. Kevin Swanson with you as well, Bill Jack. And Bill, here's an interesting story. Rasmussen polls just found that 71% of American adults agree with the statement that Disney should return to wholesome programming.
Well, there you go, line again. Activity, inclusiveness, however you want to pronounce that. Just because you want to be diverse, that in itself does not mean it's against family values. You can be a family friendly movie and be inclusive. What are you talking about here?
And allow parents to decide when their children are taught about sexuality. Only 22% agree to the statement. As only 22% were real thrilled with what Disney apparently is doing with their sexualization campaign. Also, the survey found that only 33% of Republicans view Disney in a favorable light.
Okay, that. Well, what about it? The fact that those Republicans who do favor Disney, so what? What does that have to do with anything? Like, okay, I mean, yes, there's of course some Republicans who are against Disney for the same reason that, oh no, gay people, yeah, that exists, sure, but of course there'll be some Republicans who are still like to watch Disney movies. Yes, that's a thing, but so what? And
And 46% of Americans overall have a favorable view of Disney. Now, 13 years ago, we were warning people about Disney. It seems to me that a few more are agreeing now. I'm getting a few more downloads.
Yeah,
We've moved from 2,200 downloads to 84 million Americans are agreeing with me finally.
of course you're making that out. That seems like an exaggeration. Just because a lot of people are agreeing with you does not mean you're winning. And also, I downloaded your podcast. That's how I was able to respond to it in the first place. And I don't agree with you at all. I only did this just so I can respond to you. That's it, really. So this specific podcast is not on YouTube. Well, at the very least, it doesn't appear to be on YouTube, to my knowledge, anyway. But this specific podcast, I just went to one of the religious websites that does contain this specific podcast and just made a response to it. And yes, of course, the whole background you see him while they're talking is, of course, I made it myself as well. I'm just throwing it out there. But again, this entire thing is just extremely exaggerated.
I just didn't think that was going to happen 13 years ago.
Yeah. And who put this poll out? Who was it?
Rasmussen.
Rasmussen.
Again,
they're playing catch up, Kevin.
Well, yeah, they are.
They're playing catch up.
Yeah. It's a little too late.
A little too late because this is just another BFO. It's just another blinding flash of the obvious. They didn't have to go out and do a poll on this. They didn't have to.
Again, the only people that's making this a political thing, it's you. You caused the trouble. You caused this thing to happen. And when the LGBT community fights back, and then you start complaining and moaning, and you start throwing a tantrum like a damn 5-year-old because people are not agreeing with you. So what are you talking about?
Play catch up. They could have just mustered up a few. Notice what I did there? Mustered up a few neighbors, and just said, "Hey, what do you think?"
You could have been tuning into my program 13 years ago.
Yeah, they could have been. They could have been reading the tea leaves a while back. Come on.
Well, I mean, this is my first program. Disney ruined my family.
Again, that's a huge exaggeration because the company itself did not ruin your family. You acting as if that the company knows you on a personal level, like they know you, like they met you face to face, like the company itself, or at least the people who work there. I mean, like they came up to you and shook your hand and whatnot. I like they really got to know you. And okay, yeah, that doesn't seem much of a stretch, does it? It's just nonsense. This again is a nothing sandwich. Again. So what?
By the way, if you want backup programs that go all the way back 22 years or so for the Generations broadcast, it's generations.sermonaudio.com. So those of you who are aficionados can check that out at...
I'm never going to be your friend, that's for sure. Of course, he's trying to come off... When I say he, I'm referring to Kevin Swanson, of course. He's just attempting to look like he's the nice guy. He's out for the family. He's trying to protect the family. Protect the family from what? I don't know. It can't be the LGBT plus community because they're not out there to hurt people. So this agenda, again, what agenda? I don't know. This entire thing, like I said in my previous video, is just nothing but false flagging and logical fallacies.
Generations.sermonaudio.com has, I think, almost every one of my programs that go back something like 20, 21, 22 years. So Disney ruined my family. Bill, I aired that on February 23rd, 2011. How many years ago?
A few.
About 13.
Yeah.
About 13 years ago. You had hair back then, Bill.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay. And then after that, Cinderella, Little Mermaid, Hannah Montana, How Disney Continues to Ruin Families, Disney's Progressive Agenda, Should Our Kids Be...
Again, what agenda? Where is this agenda you're talking about? I'm looking all over the place. I'm looking up, I'm looking down, I'm looking forward, backwards, in every direction possible. What agenda? I'm looking underneath my bed. I'm looking behind the TV. This so-called agenda, it doesn't exist. So where is this agenda? Oh yeah, you're just making shit up as usual.
Watching Disney flicks, that's 2014. Disney's War Against God Continues, that's 2016. And that had 2,060 downloads. Dangerous Disney, The Pied Piper, The Real Problem with Disney, 2017, Bill. That was Beauty and the Beast. That's when Beauty and the Beast came out. Bill, back then...
Oh, Christ almighty. If there's anybody that's doing any kind of brainwashing of people who are fairly young, it's you. Like anybody who is middle school or high school, like anybody who doesn't really know any better, and they're getting attacked by a group of people. Yeah, those people who are doing that, sure. But that's you. You Christians are doing that. You conservative Christians, anyway, a good number of them. Maybe not all, but a good number of them anyway. That's you. You're speaking for your own agenda. That's what's going on here.
There weren't that many people going, hey, we got a problem with Beauty and the Beast, bringing out the first homosexual scene in a Disney kids flick.
Yep.
In the history of movies. Bill, do you remember people making a big stink about that?
Another thing I don't understand is that he's acting as if that controversy, when it comes to like expressing different kind of stories, it never existed. This has been a thing ever since the printed page, the printed word, I should say. That was always a controversy in some shape or form. That was always a part of the industry in some kind of form.
Yeah.
It seems to me that pop culture has been something of a sacred cow. Not so much anymore. Is it possible that's breaking? Can you believe that people are? You think they're throwing out their Beauty and the Beast 2017 DVDs? You think they're like, oh, check that? We're not going to be watching this anymore.
They're throwing them out because DVD is a passing technology.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just streaming it.
They're streaming now. Yeah, you can stream now. Yeah. Well, friends, somehow parents don't see these demons for what they really are until they've pretty well demolished their kids.
Again and again and again. I literally just got to saying this. If there's anybody going after anybody to brainwash anyone, that's you. You're doing that. You want to brainwash kids when they're really young so they won't think for themselves. You don't want them to do that when they're like, what, maybe 17, 18, 19 or whatever. They're pretty much young adults because they can think for themselves. So before this, you want to go after when they're fairly young so they won't do that. So if there's anyone that's doing this, it's you.
These demons have teeth, Bill. But when they show up, they just look so sweet and innocent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they look pretty cool. I mean, they look like they're pretty neat folks. By the way, I looked at Disney's biggest blockbusters of all time. For kids, Disney's biggest blockbusters of all time, for kids, is Beauty and the Beast and Frozen. Beauty and the Beast 2017 had the homosexual character for the first time. Okay, but again, we're looking at the most popular kids movie for Disney, Beauty and the Beast 2017, and Frozen.
Well, yes, the remake from Beauty and the Beast and Frozen made a lot of money. That's true, but the Cinderella remake made a lot of money. Aladdin remake made a lot of money. Lady and the Tramp remake a lot of money. A lot of the remakes had made a lot of money. Beauty and the Beast was not the only one.
2013.
And Frozen promoted.
And Frozen was messed up.
Just Frozen rebellion on the part of children.
Frozen was so messed up. It was so messed up on so many sides. And of course, I was the guy.
Kevin,
I was the guy who got toasted on that one.
Just let it. Just let it go. Let it go.
I'm doing a little better now.
Let it snow. I mean, let it go.
No, I don't want to let it go.
No.
Yeah. Do what you want to do.
Again, you're totally misrepresenting the song "Let It Go." "Let It Go" never intended to be like, oh, just get rid of all your responsibilities, do whatever you want. That's not what the song is about. What the song is trying to do, which of course you completely ignored, is that Elsa finally found out who she is deep down, and Elsa wants to do what she wants because she found out who she is. She doesn't have to conceal anymore and figure out who she is as a person. If anything, it's a self-discovery song. And of course, you totally skipped that over. So yes, this is a form of misrepresentation. Yes, it's a logical fallacy because you completely ignoring the context of said song and replace it with your own, what you think it's about. Of course, you intentionally misrepresenting this kind of thing for those who don't know better, and you're hoping that people would remain ignorant in the matter so that they won't question you. So again, henceforth, the whole brainwashing thing I just mentioned a moment ago. What?
Your own rules, no rules for me, on and on. Total autonomy, feminism, and I think there was a significant amount of sexual perversion that was at least implied in the movie, and people weren't up in arms with this stuff. They were just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I've been railing against Disney for even longer than that.
Yeah, it goes back to Bambi.
It goes back to Bambi.
Again, I really don't know what you're talking about at all, whatsoever. You just want to be stuck in the past for one. The whole nostalgia, yada, yada, yada. Stuck in the past, upset with the past. I've said this multiple times before, so I really don't feel like repeating that all over again. But you just want things to go back to the way they were, way back in the day.
Bambi was the best piece of propaganda to get us to think in terms of worshiping nature, of blending in with nature, that man is the problem, that nature's good, man is bad, as opposed to having a biblical view of the creation.
Wait, what? What's this nonsense you're speaking of? What about the creation and the creator and all that? Okay. I know a lot of you conservative Christians really want your children to be obedient, obey their master, so to speak. Obey the parents because they're close to God and whatnot. Blind obedience, so to speak.
And dominion.
You
got it. And guess where we are today on environmentalism, Bill? I mean, environmentalism is assumed by everybody, including Christians.
Yep.
There's almost no biblical worldview going on among Christian thinkers, pastors, congregants. Bambi rules. Wouldn't you say? Bambi rules.
Yep.
Bambi has had her influence upon the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Wasn't a Bambi a boy? Why do you say her? Anyway, that aside, not all logical fallacies that appeal to authority. You want children to pretty much kiss the ass of the parents because the Bible said so. It's actually in one of the Ten Commandments, by the way, for those who don't know. Which, of course, in itself is a logical fallacy because you just want people to obey you because God said so. Therefore, it must be true. This is so stupid.
Especially the Christian world. So the biggest box office takes for kids' movies: Beauty and the Beast, big homosexual movie; Frozen 2013, Incredibles, which was a feminist diatribe. Come on, it was feminism. It was total feminism. And then you get Toy Story in that fiasco with Lightyear. Those are the top grossing kids' films, and they all have a homosexual edge to them, or a feminist edge, or a edgy, wokey edge to it.
They're just laughable. It's funny, actually. It made me chuckle. Edgy, wokey. You're just making up words now. Anyway, but yes, of course, you want people to automatically give respect without earning it, with henceforth the logical fallacy. So I've already discussed this in moving on.
And let's face it, that was the agenda of Beauty and the Beast, Incredibles 2, Frozen, and the Toy Story fiasco with Lightyear and the rest of it. Friends, these were the most powerful and influential Disney flicks of all time. I just listed them. In terms of box office receipts, I just listed them. How many of those Republicans, okay, 74% of Republicans, how many of them are going to clear out Incredibles 2, Beauty and the Beast, and the Toy Story franchise?
All right, so, okay, if the movie is inclusive, it's automatically shit. It's automatic garbage, which, of course, is in itself a lie. It just depends on the execution. Oh, boy. And for some context, for those who don't know, I'm just going to spend this real quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but here we go. When it comes to like movies like Toy Story 3, or even I could even go further back a little bit when it came to the third installment. I bring these movies up because yes, there was some whole hubbub of the fact that oh no, those two mommies, like a screenshot like this, they're just in the movie for like a split second, and then there was like some kind of outrage and whatnot. Even though they were just in the movie like for a split nanosecond, I'm not really giving much context with that kind of a thing. And then people keep complaining and whatnot, and just look into something that's not there. And okay, what if they're two mommies? So what? What's the problem? And anyway, I don't know if they are actually a lesbian couple, but the film doesn't really say. But even if they are, so what? It just reminds me of Lightyear. Okay, this one was a bit more direct in the sense that this was actually official. Like, so what? What's the problem? I still don't know what the problem is exactly. I do find it hilarious in a really moronic way that a lot of these homophobes, transphobes, or whatever else a phobia you can think of, for the teeny tiny, itty bitty, teeny tiny, for the smallest representation in the film, they lose their heads. They just lose their minds. Like, this is explode like a volcano. Like, what are you talking about, mate? It's so stupid. It is so stupid. Mind your business.
You get rid of all that because it's just going to lead kids astray on the woke subjects, especially that of homosexuality. How many of these families are going to just clean out their DVD collection? Well, they can stream it now.
Like they can.
Okay,
it's hard. It's hard to gauge now. You know what the influence is because it's so pervasive.
Mm-hmm. I know it's just not coming from Disney. It's coming from everywhere else. Right. This is just the tip of the iceberg of this.
Okay. That's a flat out lie. Just because you're using big words does not mean you know what you're talking about, first of all. Another thing, you're making this seem much more deep or much more newsy complicated than it should be. Just a tip of the iceberg. Again, what are you talking about? Really? What's the problem? Don't get it.
Point. But here's one more thing. You want to know the influence of Disney? The biggest box office take for adult movies or teen level movies, not the little kiddie stuff. But the teen level movies, biggest box office take for teen level movies of all time is the Disney film
Oh no, Disney movies are making more money than some of the Christian films. Oh no. Oh, how dare it's capitalism for you, mate. That's competition. That's what competition is when you think about it. Competition doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, really, but okay. Go on. Whatever.
Avengers.
Hmm.
Avengers Endgame featured Marvel's first openly homosexual character.
Oh, Christ almighty. Again, that was such a minor, teeny, itty bitty, teeny, small scene. It was not even 5 minutes, by the way. It was real short. I know what scene he's referring to, but that was such a tiny, tiny breadcrumb of a scene. They were just trying to get over the fact that it was a great uh, devastation to the team. How do you move on from here? That was it. Ah, Christ, this guy's just unbearable.
Proudly presented as, quote, the first canonically queer character in film history. I don't know what canonically
I don't know
queer
what that
means
either.
Whatever it is. Okay,
I cannot figure that
cannot figure out what canonically
figure
right.
that out.
Got it.
Well, I don't know what this means. I don't know what that means. What does this mean? That. What are you guys rambling on about? You sound muffled. And again, I know I said this before, but don't talk at the same time. I couldn't hear what you were saying. But I know it's something stupid, that's for sure. But don't ramble on at the same time. Ugh, Christ. Like this makes any sense anyway. Come to think about it, but whatever. Anyway, just whatever.
Okay, so Disney has broken barriers. Disney has made it through with Endgame. Disney made it through a Beauty and the Beast 2017. Disney already did it. It's done. It's over.
So they're assuming that this business is done for. It's cooked. The goose is cooked, I so would say, because it's now destroyed. Even though, despite the fact that this is 2024 and they're still doing pretty well, actually, and their new movie Inside Out Part Two actually did really well in the box office. So yeah, one of the new hits Inside Out 2 actually was like box office success, which didn't haven't had in a while, but still though.
Too little, too late, Bill. I'm sorry. The governor of Florida, he should have showed up 13 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't. And so the whole thing's done now. They've broken the barriers. They've moved as post-Christian, attempting to break the boundaries of Romans 1. And that they've done it. But now parents are finally saying, no more. We're done with Disney. But Bill, it's only the tip of the iceberg. I mean, think about it. What about the public schools? What about the...
What about them? What's going to happen? You realize though they already accepted students who are different. That does happen. So what are you talking about? What's going to happen? The water's going to blow up or something? What? What are you talking about?
woke agenda? What about 97% of woke media, entertainment? As woke as can be. 95% of American teens have iPhones. 96% of American teens are on the internet daily, and about half are on the internet constantly.
All right, that right there just made you sound like a straight up boomer. Okay, I'm technically older than you are because I am over 100 years old, but even I can say that you come off like a damn boomer. You realize that a lot of people from the side of generation did a lot of the hard work that your generation can actually appreciate. You're so ungraceful.
Hours a day. Half of the teens in America are on the internet constantly throughout the day. Now, I don't know. Apparently,
What the hell are you talking about, and what does that have to do with anything? You're rambling on again. You can even go as far as back when the newspapers were originally invented. I mean, nowadays, like, no one cares. But back then, a lot of you old bastards made that a big deal for some reason. You read the old paper too much. Nowadays, it's cell phones.
school. Some of them do. But according to this, they're on the internet constantly. So, folks, we need to realize this is the Gramscian revolution. This is happening.
So your proof here is the Bible. You're acting as if that a lot of kids nowadays are on the cell phone, on the computers, they're on Facebook too much, on Instagram too much, Tumblr, whatever it may be. So you're acting as if that the Bible spoke of this somehow? What? This is so ridiculous.
This is what's happening. So, what do? Christians, what do? We produce our own media, our own education, and our own businesses. So that the Gramscians have got the media, that the Gramscians have got control of education.
Wait, what? Who are you talking about? Who has the control of the education? I mean, yes, of course, as you can already tell, we went way off topic. And yeah, I'm about to end this soon, really, because for that very reason, we went way off topic. I mean, granted, we weren't on topic per se, not really, but okay, whatever. This is so dumb. Like, okay, you're not making any sense whatsoever at all. Okay, I'm gonna add this here for those who don't know, so you can get a better grasp about, as to what I'm talking about. Even though I said it before in various other videos. Yes, Kevin Swanson, people like him, are the type of the individuals who prefer homeschool. I mean, they don't like private schools or in public schools. I mean, they'd be okay with it if it's Christian, I guess, but otherwise, they want to just tear it down, so to speak. Oh yeah. All right, which reminds me, Alfred and I have to check the mail. Okay, let's go over here. Yeah, I'll open that up. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just open that up. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I'll say. Okay, there. Yeah, I guess I did receive that already. Okay. All right. And yes, what I'm trying to get at is that yes, of course, Kevin Swanson and his friends over here would be the type of people that would say that, oh, I'm not supposed to like Barbie. I'm not supposed to buy this set whatsoever. It's somehow too evil. It's weird if someone else likes it. It's for girls. Even then, it could be debatable because Kevin Swanson's the type of person to really be really strict on entertainment. So this right here would be a big fat no no. I'm not supposed to like it. It's supposed to be for us women and whatnot and all that jazz. So I guess according to him, I'm already committing sin. Well, him, Elvis, and I anyway, just by holding this. Oh yeah.
That the Gramskins have got control of the business world. What do? Well, Generations have worked for 20 years to do exactly this. The Worldview, an entire media program based on a biblical standard, not the Fox News standard, not the Epoch Time standard, not the CNN standard, the biblical standard.
I do find it funny that he would say that he wants to use the biblical standard as a way to form morality, which in itself is pretty insane. Because, like I said multiple times before, is that there's been many denominations of Christianity. So how do you explain those away? All right, your version of the Bible is true, and not everyone else's. Only yours is true. But literally every single other version of the Bible will say the exact same thing, like yours say. So how do you explain that away exactly?
We started it 10 years ago. We started it because we saw their handwriting on the wall. It's over for the mainstream media. It's over for Christians. Christians need a biblically based media, and they must insist on it. Now, I'm talking about every one of 40 million Christians in America need to insist on abandoning CNN.
In other words, the only way good entertainment can be made if it's based off the Bible. Any other way, it's bad. It has to be everything about the Bible. It could be songs, it could be poems, short stories, novellas, you name it, TV shows, books, comic books, video games, stories, you name it. Literally literally everything has to be related to the Bible in order to be this grand thing.
And turning to a biblically based media. So that's why the worldview.com. We've also produced our own God-centered biblical homeschool curriculum. We're encouraging families to completely abandon the whole curriculum approach, the whole educational approach that's been posed on us by a naturalistic, materialistic, atheistic evolutionary.
So, in other words, he wants the whole thing with prayer back in school, everyone reads the Bible and all that jazz. Like they did it back in the old days. Back in the day, back in the 1950s, all that jazz. No, they should not do that. It seems like just another form of control. And he's acting as if that, since that's no longer a thing in the schools, at least in a good chunk of them anyway, he thinks that the education system is going down here, which ironically goes against education. What are you talking about?
Mindset. And then finally, what about business? Well, we've been working on family economy for a very long time, and you've heard programs aired on family economy so that we can replace the politically correct businesses out there. Let's maintain some Christian-based businesses. Let's get back to family economy. Friends, what we're saying is
all right, I'm about to end this because, like I was saying earlier, they just went off to some whole other thing. Okay, just because you want to help the LGBT plus community does not mean you're forcing anyone to do anything. That does not mean that. It's about human rights at the end of the day. To get just to the point, it's about human rights. These people just want to live. That's it. How is it so complicated? I have no idea. They just want to live their lives like everyone else. That's it.
To islands of culture, gardens in the ashes during a very destructive time in human history. I'm telling you, this media is destroying. The corporate system is destroying itself. And of course, the educational program's already destroyed everything. So we're calling for islands of culture, gardens in the ashes at a time like these. There's a point at which you've got to abandon the Titanic and move on to the emergency life raft manufacturing centers on the deck of the Titanic. You have to move on to.
Another thing I don't understand here is that, okay, one of many, many things I don't get. How is it that he's complaining about the gays getting political when people like him are making it political? It's you. You're the one that did this. You started, and you wonder why they fought back. And what does this have to do with Disney exactly? I don't know.
Life rafts. You have to move off the Titanic. It's a point at which you can't duct tape anymore in the engine room of the Titanic. You just got to realize there's a point at which.
So they don't know how to live their lives. If you support the gay people, you don't know how to live your life. You're not in the proper way of living. You're not in the right path, which is a form of gaslighting, by the way. You don't know what you're doing. I know what you should be doing. So therefore, I should teach you. Again, with the logical fallacies, like I said in the other video.
In certain aspects of life, like education or even media, you're going to have to develop your own media. There's a point at which you got to go emergency life raft. When your culture is committing suicide and the whole city is drinking the Kool-Aid, can we say, can I just bow out on this one? There's a point at which you got to do that. Like,
then go, leave. No one wants you around anyway. Even just call a bell out or whatever, however you want to phrase that. Just go. It's so dumb. By the way, I've been meaning to upload this quite a while ago, so there was kind of a lot of gagging on this video, really, to be honest with you folks. Because it's just the same old, same old. I keep hearing the same thing over and 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 over.
Everybody's drinking Kool-Aid? Well, tell you what, we're not. We're not going to drink the Kool-Aid.
Do you know where that reference originated?
Yeah, it was a cultic system.
Jim Jones,
right, down in Guyana, wherever it was. Yeah. Okay. But my point is not just applying it to the other cult. the secular cult, Bill.
Again, these individuals are claiming that whoever disagrees with them are just mad ignorant. You don't know what you're doing. This, of course, is a logical fallacy, as mentioned earlier, because he's using the Bible itself like this. That's the absolute proof. It's just the Bible. The Bible says the Bible is true, therefore the Bible is true. That's because the book itself states it's true. Therefore, it doesn't need no other evidence except for the book itself. Which, yes, again, that in itself right there is also another logical fallacy. Right there. Let me just finish this up. This is so ridiculous. It's dumb.
It's a cult, Bill.
Oh, it is.
It's a cult, and they're drinking Kool-Aid down there.
Right.
You think me and my kids want to drink the Kool-Aid? No way. We're going to exempt ourselves on the Kool-Aid. Is that okay?
No.
So you're claiming the progressive liberals, Democrats, Joe Biden and all that, they're promoting that kind of attitude? Excuse me? That's what a lot of you Christians would do. That's more of a thing with you guys. So if there's anyone doing that, it's not the LGBT plus community, and it's not Disney. That's what you guys would do. So I don't know where you got that from exactly, but it's certainly not from them. You're making shit up again.
Can we exempt ourselves from the Kool-Aid? I think so.
Well, it's difficult to do.
I know. But
if those who produce all the source of...
Okay, some around here don't know their history. So, okay, these two knuckleheads, they don't seem to realize that, as more in line with the Jamestown. Yeah, Jamestown was a whole thing, of course. That's what they did. And the individual who was pretty much the cult leader of that was a Christian, and he was also a communist. And not only that, which reminds me, in Cuba, that's communism, and they're Catholic. Funny how that being religious and communism seem to go hand in hand quite well when you think about it. It fits like a glove when you think, however that phrase goes, but you catch my drift here. So yeah, about that.
Of liquid all the Kool-Aid in the world.
Yeah. Yep. But by God's grace, God's grace, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Okay, again with the Kool-Aid. We keep moving on to various other subject matter. You just can't seem to stay on one thing at all. It just tells me you really don't have a point. I mean, granted, like you really did to begin with, sure, but we can't just stay on one thing. Looks like we can't for whatever reason. But okay. Again, that's something that a lot of religious people have done over the years. That is something that they have done.
Think about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Bill?
Yeah.
They exempted themselves. Remember that?
They did.
And God gave them the ability to do that. And I believe that God has carved out these amazing islands of freedom, islands of culture. We talk about this all the time.
Oh, boy. Okay, again, appealing to authority figures. Yeah, we have all these nice mountains, this nice forests, just nature, basically. How nature looks all wonderful and whatnot. Oh, look how like the beaches in Hawaii looks like. Stuff like that. How that's so beautiful and whatnot. Oh, it's because of God. And it's everyone else that's trying to ruin it. In other words, you've been part of the LGBT plus community, you're trying to ruin that peaceful stuff. Again, what are you talking about? Who's attacking that? It's not those people you foreign to. Can we just stay on one subject matter?
Well, you crisscross the country on this one. And it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time, my friends. Get a copy of Epoch, The Rise and Fall of the West to better understand the times and to get what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm just about to be done. I'm just done, all right? I'm just done with this podcast. I'm not doing any more than this when it comes to this specific podcast anyway. Again, he keeps going all over the place. So apparently the down of America's going to be completely ruined. Society's going to be ruined. The education's going to be ruined. God's nature is going to be ruined because of the gays. The gays going to ruin everything, apparently. Where are you getting this from exactly? What is this based upon? You're just making stuff up again.
Get a copy of Epoch, The Rise and Fall of the West to get an idea of where we are and the strategy.
Yeah, just about to be done. Just wow. Again, what strategy? What agenda? What destruction? What is killing nature? Who's going after family? Who's doing what exactly? Who's doing what? I still have so many questions here. Where are you getting this from? What's making you think this? How can you be so sure that your version of the Bible is the truth when there's so many others that saying the exact same thing? Granted, this entire thing is just a logical fallacy when you think about it. Just simply put, that's what this is. He's trying to attach the LGBT plus community and Disney into something that's bad. What does that even mean? I have no idea. What are you talking about?
How we're going to work this out over the next generation or two. Epoch, The Rise and Fall of the West, available at generations.org. This is Kevin Swanson inviting you.
What the hell are you even talking about? I mean, what? Anyway, that'll be it, folks. Of course, like I just said, this entire thing is just logical fallacies all over the place. Logical fallacies. That's it. Just making shit up. Anyway, folks, that'll be it. Thanks for watching. See ya. This is so bad. So bad.